My daughter is already in school now, and that's brought some noticeable changes to our daily routine. When she was in kindergarten, things were much simpler. But now, either my wife or I have to pick her up early, by 4 p.m., she's already finished all her main tasks. Drawing, practicing her letters, chatting with friends, and so on. The good thing is, the teacher lives right in our courtyard, so we often get the chance to catch up on Anna's progress and have some timely educational chats. It was my turn to pick her up that day. When I walked into the classroom, I saw that my daughter was visibly upset. I was about to ask the teacher what had happened, but she had already left, and the substitute teacher didn't have much to offer. On the way home, Anna started explaining what had been bothering her. Today we wrote a complicated letter, the one on the queue. It's difficult, and I couldn't write the circle correctly. Emily, who was sitting across from me, turned around, looked at my notebook, and started laughing because my letter looked ugly. She told everyone. I could see how much it bothered her. She was clearly upset over a single letter, so I decided to try to cheer her up with something. How about we grab some orange juice? What do you think? What's so special about juice? She replied, sounding unimpressed. Well, how about we get a cake too? What do you think? Her face lit up. Yes, she nodded eagerly. All right, let's go then. We'll drop off our bags at home, and you can change into something comfy. Let's freshen up a bit first. When we got home, I kicked off my shoes and went to drink a glass of water. Suddenly my daughter screamed, "Take my bag to my room, and don't forget to put everything in the closet carefully, okay? I'm afraid of the uncle in the closet." She sounded like she was giving me instructions. I froze. What uncle? I asked, completely thrown off. The one who comes, I didn't write the letters well today, and I'm scared. Take my jeans, she said, her voice trailing off. I was trying to piece together what she meant, but it wasn't making much sense. A letter, a closet, and some mysterious uncle were all blending together in my head. Something about the whole picture didn't sit right, but I couldn't quite figure it out. I quickly pushed those darker thoughts aside, realizing I needed to stay calm and keep the conversation open. If I reacted too strongly, she'd be scared and might not tell me anything. Anna, what uncle are you talking about? Let's figure this out together, okay? I gently took her hand, and she led me to the bedroom closet. She pointed to the right side where the dresses and shirts were hanging. I opened the door, carefully sifted through the clothes, and said, "Look, no uncle here." "What about over there?" she asked, pointing to the left side. I searched again. "There are shelves there. It wouldn't fit. Or maybe your uncle is as tiny as a doll." I joked. "No, he's as big as you," she insisted, nodding seriously. "He's definitely not here." She seemed to cheer up a bit, and went on to get dressed, now reassured that there was no creepy uncle hiding in the closet. But I couldn't shake off my curiosity. Who was this uncle? When we went outside and headed for the cafe, I couldn't wait any longer to ask, "So, where did you meet this uncle?" I tried to speak casually so that she wouldn't worry, but I needed answers. "Well, I was running at recess. I tripped and got my dress dirty." "It was really dirty," she explained. "Was it painful?" "No," she said. "I was crying because my dress was dirty. The teacher told me not to stay for classes after school, so I just went home." "Oh, I see," I said, feeling a little relieved. "And then she took off your dirty dress." "No, I was crying because I didn't want to get in trouble for it." I couldn't help myself. "Anna, you can't walk around in dirty clothes, It's not nice, and it's embarrassing." "I know," she mumbled, looking a little sad again at the thought of her dress. "But where did the uncle come from?" I pushed forward, hoping for more clarity. "When I got home, Mom asked me why I was back so early. She wanted to know what time I got home, but I didn't know. The teacher just walked me home when classes ended, and I didn't stay for the after-school program." So you must have come in around 12:30, right?" "I don't know," she shrugged. I was still trying to figure out how she managed to be home during school hours. But before I could ask more, we had arrived at the cafe. We ordered juice and cake, and I continued probing. "So, where exactly did you see this uncle?" "I ran to change into clean clothes," she said. "I opened the closet to get something, and there he was, standing there." At that point, I was beginning to feel a little dizzy from all the confusion. Was I overthinking things? I just had to know, was this guy doing something weird? "Was he wearing a red hat?" I asked, half joking. "No, just regular pants and a sweater," she replied, after a brief pause. I let out a huge sigh of relief. At least he wasn't some strange, hat-wearing figure lurking around the house. But still, the mystery remained. Who was this guy, and why was he in the closet? "And what happened next?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "I ran to tell my mom," she said. "And my mom told me that it's a monster that comes for kids who don't study well. Then she made me wash my hands, and together we went to look in the closet. But my uncle was gone. Mom looked at my notebook and said that I was good at writing, which meant that my uncle wouldn't be coming back. But I didn't write well today, so he might come again." I could feel a mix of confusion and concern welling up inside me. I had to hold myself back from calling my wife right then and there, ready to confront her. But at that very moment, what was going on? Who was this guy in the house? Why mess with a child's mind and instill fear into her? "Let's go inside and figure this out," I said, trying to keep my cool. "We'll deal with this uncle of yours." "I don't want him to come," she exclaimed, clearly still rattled. My heart was pounding. I was trying so hard to stay calm, but there were too many questions spinning in my mind. Was I really going to let this slide? Why would my wife allow this kind of nonsense to happen? "You know what? How about we go to Grandma's today? Take your briefcase with you, and you can go to school from there tomorrow. In the meantime, I'll take care of this Baba Yaga. She'll never come back." "Yeah, let's go." My daughter was clearly excited by the idea, relieved that she wouldn't have to meet the scary Baba Yaga again. I immediately called my mom and asked her to look after my daughter. She, of course, agreed right away, excitedly promising to cook up a storm like any grandmother would. After packing up a few things, I drove my daughter to my parents' house and returned home to wait for my wife. I sat in the armchair, arms crossed, trying to prepare myself for what was coming. I promised myself I wouldn't shout, that I'd stay calm, but how could I stay calm in a situation like this? My mind was racing. I kept telling myself to stay composed, but the frustration was building fast. When Martha finally walked in, she was surprised to see me sitting there. "Where's Anna? What's going on?" she asked, looking confused when she saw the look on my face. "Montmartre took her," I replied, trying to sound as gentle as possible. I saw a flicker of confusion in her eyes, but it quickly turned to something more defensive. "What are you talking about?" she snapped. "Where's the child? And what nonsense are you spouting? She's at a psychologist. She's traumatized from what she saw." I decided to flip the conversation. "Oh, don't give me that. Just tell me, where is she?" "Anna is with my mom, don't worry. But I'm more curious about where the guy is who helped me grow my horns, I said, my voice now a little sharper. Martha went silent, staring at me. She probably thought she could still talk her way out of this, but I wasn't about to back down. I needed to know who this guy was, how he ended up in our house, and why she thought it was okay. Who? She asked, trying to sound indifferent. What guy? The one who likes to go through other people's closets, I said, not letting her off the hook. I don't understand you, she replied, her voice trying to sound casual. Are you going to eat or what? I stood up and walked over to her, taking her by the shoulders and turning her to face me. I looked into her eyes, searching for some sign of honesty. Who is he, Martha? I asked, my voice quiet but intense. How could you do this? She realized there was no way out now. The truth was coming out, and she had no choice but to face it. What was I supposed to do if Anna came home early? She muttered. I was almost speechless. So, the reason all of this happened is because our daughter came home early. Not because you brought someone into our house. Martha went quiet, and I slowly released my grip on her shoulders. I could feel the anger bubbling up inside, but I tried to stay in control. I wanted to pick her up and throw her out the door, but that wouldn't solve anything. The disgust I felt was overwhelming. How could she betray everything we had built, everything she had promised? How could she so easily destroy our family for something so trivial? I took a deep breath. I'm disgusted, Martha. This is disgusting. I never imagined I'd be sitting here, talking to you like this. She said nothing. And I feel so sorry for our daughter, I continued. Because of her sneaky mother, our family might not make it through this. I didn't expect my family life to unravel so quickly, but here we were. What could I do if my wife didn't understand the importance of trust, honesty, and respect? How could she throw that all away so carelessly? I said a silent prayer, hoping my daughter wouldn't be scarred by this mess. I didn't want her to grow up thinking this was normal. But I knew, deep down, the damage had already been done.